Publishing. We've reached the final step in finishing up our fairy tales. Publishing is the last thing that we will do before our parents see our fairy tales at parent night in the next few days. So I want you to think about how we can wrap up this final step and get our fairy tales published so that they'll be ready for when our parents come. Time to celebrate. We have worked hard on creating our fairy tales over the last weeks. That's kind of an understatement. You've put so much effort into your fairy tales, and you've all done such a great job on them. Now it is time to put the finishing touches on them so that we can present them. We want everyone who comes to our parent night to be able to see everything that we've learned in this unit. We've learned about the writing process. We've learned about characteristics of a fairy tale. We've learned about plot and plot diagram. We've learned about drafting, editing, revising, publishing, all the many things that come together to make one piece of writing. I want that to be evident whenever we present our fairy tales to our parents. I'm so proud of every one of you, and I know that they'll be proud of you too. Remember, we will be presenting them at parent night, and then it will be time to celebrate. Title. The title of a piece of literature is very important. It is the first thing that anyone will read. Make sure that your title is related to your story and suits your purpose. When people walk around and look at your fairy tale and see your title, that's what's going to make them want to read the rest of what you have written. So think carefully whenever you're creating your title. Let's try and think of a title for my fairy tale. Remember, I wrote my fairy tale about Princess May and her crown that her parents made her. I'm going to think for just a moment about what a title could be. I'm going to let you think of some ideas as well. We'll do this for about 10 seconds and gather back together. Alright guys, let's go ahead and come back together. While we were thinking, I decided that I think I'm going to name my fairy tale The Unfortunately Perfect Crown. My reason for my title is the fact that it is unfortunate because her parents took her jewels and she stressed so much about what had happened to her jewels. Perfect because the crown ended up being everything that she wanted it to be. And crown because that is mostly what my story is about. The title of my fairy tale helps everyone to know what they are going to be reading before they read my fairy tale. Cover page. Since we're not creating a book and it won't have a cover, we're only creating a fairy tale. We're going to create a cover page for our writing. A cover page should consist of a few things: the title, the author's name, and an image that represents your story. Your title will be what you come up with for your fairy tale, and then the author's name will of course be yourself. Lastly, we'll put an image on there to help readers know what they are going to be reading in our fairy tale. So mine would be The Unfortunately Perfect Crown by Stephanie Ford. Now let's think of an image that we are going to put with my fairy tale. I'm going to give you a couple minutes with your partner to create a cover page image for my fairy tale. Just come up with an idea of what it could be. I'm going to give you about 30 seconds and we'll gather back together. You may begin. Alright, let's go ahead and gather back together. I think that I would use a crown or a plant that grows jewels. There's a lot of different things that I could use. I'm going to use the next few minutes to look over the images that you've created for me, and I'm going to try and figure out what I think would best suit my fairy tale. While I'm doing that, I'm going to let you go ahead and start writing. As you write today, I want you to think about your title and cover page for your fairy tale. Begin making this piece. Keep in mind that many people will see it and do your best work. Your cover page and your title is what's going to set the mood for your entire fairy tale. So I'm going to give you the next little bit of time to work on that right away.